tell you what, bud, she sounds 10 out of 10 as well. We'll be showing this old WJ a little love today, trying to get her ready for some snow tomorrow. Maybe I should check the oil. Alrighty, friends, I gotta say, Willie looked pretty good sitting in the wife's carport there. The long and the short of it is, this poor Jeep has been getting neglected for the better part of a decade. Only pulled out when every other registered vehicle in the fleet has something wrong with it. But I'd like to get her together now. Spring's about to sprung, I don't know. Which is Jeeping season here in Jersey. Not to mention we're gonna get some snar tomorrow. I wouldn't mind taking this old battle wagon and not run the risk of running that thing into a snowplow, since it's the unluckiest vehicle on the planet. Real quick sidebar, all right? I buy the car, nothing wrong with it. Not a pan, no, the back bumper had a little dinger in it. All right, some guy in front of me decides to merge without looking and swipes the back of his utility trailer across the fender and the hood. Then beautiful wife decided she wanted to test the structural integrity of the back bumper on a pillar at my dad's house. Finally, some jabroni, at least she was in a Jeep, come up, and I was parked getting my morning bagel and coffee, and she just backed right into her. Don't worry though, that one's fixed, so that's good to go. I replaced the hood and the fender. Well, I replaced the bumper, right? And then that side thing happened. Then I replaced the hood and the fender, and literally on the test drive, can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see? They shattered me window. The gosh. Thing's just unlucky. So I'm not taking her out in a snowstorm. We're gonna take the WJ out. The old battle wagon. What's happened there, Willie? Oh my goodness. So one of the things I've been using Willie for is to push vehicles around the property with this bull bar that is really only held on with 2 grade 5 bolts. I bought this at a flea market. It's not even for a WJ. It's not attached to anything. Honestly, we've had a good run with this bull bar. I think it's over. I have a winch for it in the garage. I just have to actually set it up. But today, we're going to do a few things. Number one, I was at a mud event a number of years ago with Eric, of course. Don't go anywhere without my good buddy Eric. And we drove Willie out there, and the front caliper locked up, and we had to go to the store and buy a new one. Willie is a 2000 WJ, which means he came from the factory there in Toledo, Ohio, with TV's brakes. The ones with the clip. Sorry, my camera just did something weird and it screeched my brain to a halt. But when we went to the store, I was like, Eric, don't buy me another TVs. I don't want that crap. Give me the Akebono, which they put on the 2001 and a half and up. My 2001 that you probably saw in the opening clips, down yonder sitting in the corner of the property, wondering when he's going to get some attention, came from the factory with the Akebonos. Anyway, point is, I had one Akebono and one TVs, and the other day I realized, I don't know if you can see in there, but that caliper's getting, or rotor's getting pretty chewed up. I think the pads are all the way gone on this TVs. That clip, you see this clip here? This clip is how you tell a TV's from an Akebono. That is an anti-rattle clip. Anyway, point is, we're gonna start there. Because this Jeep doesn't get used all that often, I've been using a solar-powered battery tender, which has been 10 out of 10, but I wanna move it. Maybe we'll weld up a bracket or something, put it up top, and maybe a couple other little things also. The other day, I'm pretty sure my transfer case chain was singing me the song of its people. So we may crack the plug on that and find out if there's any glitter confetti in there. I've abused this transfer case, this drive line, quite a bit. It's 5 of the original pistons, and that's it. The transfer case isn't original. The diffs have been blown up and replaced. It's even a new transmission, though I didn't put that in. I think my dad did that when my sister owned the Jeep. Without further ado, and there we go, friends. I didn't bring you along for the whole spacer removal because I don't really want to hear your crap opinions on spacers. If they're done right and you know what you're doing, no problem using spacers. Been running them for, well, long enough to say that with confidence. But if you don't know what you're doing, don't just go slapping 12 pairs of spacers on so you can fit them pretty 12 wides, right? Now, first thing second, where'd that big chunk of grease come from? Sort of chilling out there in the middle of nowhere. Oh yeah, there's pretty much no pad left. I mean, there's a bit of pad left, but not a ton. We're not saving these calipers, so I'm not going to be overly careful with them. I'm just going to pop this off now. Let's go right in the you-know-what bucket. These TV style ones have a tendency to, what's the word I'm looking for? Seize. There you go. That's why we don't like them. They lead to death wobbles. So if you have a 99, a 2000, you definitely have the TVs. And if you have a, just bend that ABS bracket out of the way, can't imagine how that might have gotten damaged. If you have a 2002, 3, or 4, you definitely had Akebono. If you have an 01, like my 01 sitting down in the corner of the property, they changed it midway through the year. You just got to go look for the clip. So let's get these brakes off. I'm almost certain this is our issue. What's happening is I'm going to hit the brakes and I get almost like a quick lockup. You can feel one tire's grabbing. It feels like it's this one's kind of like full stop while the other one's just gliding. So gonna be some snarl tomorrow. I'd like to drive this bad boy to work. In the past, I would have just sent it, said screw it. If I die, I die. Now I gotta drive the executive producer around, so you get it. Sadly, now I have to actually maintain my vehicles. Right tool for the job, eh, bud? Makes things go a heck of a lot quicker. Alrighty, friends. Fasteners have been extricated. It's time to see what we're up against. I've seen worse, but that's not really comforting. And then there's your all-star right there, that bit of metal. So brake pad material, whether it's ceramic, synthetic, whatever have you, has a bit of slide to it. The mild steel they make the pad backing out of does not. Now, while we're in here, I could probably fire some new pads in this and be done with it, but I don't know, I'm not an engineer, but I feel like you should have the same calipers on both sides. Not completely different ones with different braking characteristics. So, you know, this being high performance machine it is. All right, enough yucking around. What's that look like, a 14 to you? Hey, some of y'all remember I did the Tens are trash on this Duratec kit. It was like 40 bucks. I hypothesized that it was one of the most complete 3/8 kits out there. I have been absolutely loving it. I use it at work, I use it at home. The only issue is that the blow molded case is a little bit chintzy and it doesn't hold everything in. You can see when you open it, a couple things are out there floating around. I tried putting a cloth in there. I think it actually came with a piece of foam that I immediately lost. Point is, I would still recommend this set. I've had these on impacts. They've been pretty good. Durability with the Duratec has been no issue at all. The completeness of this kit has been no issue at all. It's been 10 out of 10. I've had everything I needed. So would recommend for 40 bucks if you're just starting out. That's a good place to go. Give me my socket back. Well, we'll get the socket back in a minute. Why did I choose to do it this way? What the heck is wrong with me? Oh, Christmas. I'm going to put this on the internet now? Alright. Caliper down in there. I'm not super worried about losing brake fluid because I'm certain this Jeep could do with a little bit of a brake fluid flush. There's just no chance that the stuff in there is 10 out of 10. That said, bring this guy up above the heart to stem the bleeding at least a bit. All right, here's some stuff we can look at. I tested the wheel bearing before I took the wheel off. There's a little bit of hitch in the giddy up, but not too much, and by no means out of spec. You can actually tell it's a relatively new wheel bearing. Tie rod ends, surprisingly pretty good. I'm exploring the idea that they may just be rusted in place. Starting to go, but yeah, that tie rod and the drag link, real good. I know my sway bar is good. Excuse me, my sway bar is not good. I know my track bar is good. My sway bar is only connected on this side. It's completely rotted off on the other side. No big deal. These knuckles, super dirty and dusty and crusty and just weight reduced to all frig. Oh my God. That's okay. Whatever. But we're gonna get new ones. We're gonna give Willie some of the love he deserves. So what we're trying to do right now is just keep him on the road for the next little bit and make sure that he's still a good snow use vehicle. So let's fire that new caliper in there, and then we're gonna put on our junkyard pads. What? That's right, if you remember in a recent video not too long ago, I'll leave a link wherever links go, that we pulled some Akebono brake pads from a WJ in the junkyard because they were absolutely 10 out of 10. I paid $1 a piece for the pads. That was a come up. Saved myself 30 bucks today. For a dirty old Jeep like this, junkyard pads are gonna be just fine. Alrighty friends, I like to build new calipers on the bench. Gives us an opportunity to pre-grease them and make sure everything is copacetic like. Hardware there, I'm sure we're gonna use that. Huh, I actually have caliper paint over there. I wonder if I should paint this bad boy black first. Just to keep it from going all rusty dusty on me. Long story short, I don't care, so probably not gonna do that. Who could have seen that one coming? Do I not have a ratcheting wrench? Come on here. Christmas, my wife gave me these little bins. They're silicone expanding bins. The bottom is magnetic. Oh my goodness. Well, friggin' amazing. I love these so much. The best part is I basically keep them on the side of my bench here, and then whenever I need them, boop, boop, boop. Alrighty, this is I don't remember what they call it, an anti-wear clip or something, or maybe they just call it a wear clip. The point is you put this on the pad, and when the pad wears down, this bit of metal right here, this tab, will start making contact with your rotor, and it will make an ungodly friggin' noise. Just pay attention to when you put your brakes in, and pay attention in general. There's no need for those, because also they alert you, you know, when you still got about 10,000 miles left. So you run out to the store, you get it, you see where this is going. I'm gonna use two different types of grease here. Put a little bit of the white lube underneath the clips here, and what that does is it prevents rusting and it prevents rust jacking. I actually did brakes on my Subaru recently, and I did this in that video too, so you've probably seen me do this recently, or that video's coming out after this one, and then you'll see it again soon. But it just keeps the mounting area for the clips clean, rust-free. This isn't a super high temp grease, but I just haven't had an issue with it. These are those pads, by the way, from the old junkyard. They got the VS in the back. You can see they're clearly used, but plenty of meat left. No reason not to. They were all even, and they're all evenly worn, uniformly worn, and they're all at the same life left. So here is your signal to go out and buy some junkyard brake pads for your beater. Seriously. Now, the purpose of these clips, you can kind of probably already figure it out. They put tension on the brake pads, and they keep them from rattling, keep them wearing even. So you want to make sure you're actually using these clips. I won't lie to you, in my youth, I used to just 86 the clips. I mean, I was a teenager. I was like 17 doing my own brakes. I would just be like, brake clips, you don't need those. I mean, I never had a problem, but I'm sure my brakes wore out a little early. Now, I like using anti-seize in here. If you don't like using anti-seize for brake stuff, don't. But leave me alone, because I've never had an issue. I know the purple grease is what you're supposed to use. I watch Wes work. I know the right way to do things. But in this case, I'm not fixing someone else's car. I'm fixing my car, so I get to do it the way I want. And that doesn't mean you have an excuse to be unsafe on the road, but I have no reason to believe this is actually unsafe. Oh boy, I'm really talking myself into a corner on these brakes, aren't I? The point is, in my 6 years on YouTube, I've got my butt kicked over grease choice, and I'm just done with it. I don't really care what you people think about me and my grease. All right, now I don't believe these have fronts and backs the way the TVs do. No, they don't. Definitely not. They're all four are the same. Yeah, they've got the same little pocket up there, same backing plate, same geometry. So we'll just pick two. Boy, I wouldn't mind finding. So if you look at them, you can even tell which ones were on a side. This one has the two circles from the piston, and then this one has kind of like the whale tail from the caliper. So I'm going to choose a front and a back. The ones that were previously front and back are the original front and back. Who knows? Not me. Your back's going to go here. This is another reason I like the TVs. They load so much, or the Akebono, so much easier than the TVs do. He said before immediately having issue loading the brake pad. I don't know, for some reason whenever I got TV's brakes, I always had to grind down the tabs a little to get them to fit properly. Which, if you're not someone who's real comfortable with this kind of work, that might sound terrifying, just grinding down brake pads, but that's what you do to make them fit. So this is why I like doing it on the bench. You can get all that grease in place real nice and then load these brake pads in. I should have actually, before I do the other one, we're going to take these slides out and see how they look. Oh wow, these are actually well pre-greased for the most part. You usually don't see that when you buy them remanned from the usual scumbags. All I'm going to do is do a little anti-seize up at the top. To my knowledge, anti-seize does not in any way degrade rubber. I could be wrong, but I just haven't had an issue. Now, I know that in molybdenum disulfide, anti-seize is technically gritty, so maybe it's not the best thing for sealing around a boot, but again, been doing this for a long time, but I've just never had an issue. So yeah, there's plenty of grease down on the main shaft. I'm just going to put some up here because that's where you get dirt and water ingress. And anti-seize probably not the best thing. Maybe I should have grabbed the white grease, but whatever, don't matter. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. The keyboard gangsters are going to convince you it does. I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm just saying they're not right. Get that one primed up. Numero dos, maybe a little even on the tip there, so that it can't rust up on the wrong side of the mounting surface, if you know what I mean. If you ever tried to pull 3 years of rust through a fine thread hole, well, you know my pain. Rotor's on. Caliper is. On. There we go. Everything's tightened down. The new plug is on. We're going to crack this bleeder and let it gravity bleed for a while. I actually don't have any brake fluid at the house. Christmas amateur hour, darn it. I have to get some when I go pick up the executive producer later. No big deal. Should be enough in there to gravity bleed a bit and at least get some pedal feel. What I'm going to do real quick is go and check on that other side. I might rebuild that caliper right quick. Then we'll take, how about we take this guy over to the bench, find out if it was actually seized or if there was anything wrong with it. This is definitely worth noting. This is how you gravity bleed a system. If you're putting in new lines or new caliper, for whatever reason you have reason to believe there's a lot of air in your system, go ahead and crack your bleeder open. Always use a line wrench on your bleeder, even if it's new. Like, just, why not? Why wouldn't you? Assuming you have one. If you have a line wrench, use a line wrench. Open your bleeder up. I actually found some brake fluid. I'm sure it's about 5 years old. Brake fluid doesn't go bad. It does. It definitely does. Open up your reservoir over here. Top her all the way up. That's what we're going to do right now. Christmas. There you go. Some beautiful, nice clear brake fluid, DOT3, no big deal. Yeah. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to go about my business working on this side, and I'll keep an eye over here, and at a certain point I'll notice, oh, it's already going. We're starting to get the drippity drops coming out of there. So I'm going to let it go for about 10 minutes. As long as it's going in the bucket, I don't really care. And hopefully it'll belch out most of that air, and then when the wife gets home, I'll have her sit in the driver's seat for 2 seconds. Give the old pump and twist. We'll be ready to go. I think, I've been thinking about it as I've been sitting here. I think we're gonna grab the winch and plow bumper off the other WJ and throw that on today. So, if you saw something in the thumbnail about plow Jeeps and winches, that is that, and we're gonna do that Oh, Christmas, bud, I tell you, life is hard and harder if you're stupid. Here is our other caliper. The long and the short of it is, it was a little bit stiff on this side, and it was basically seized in on this side. So I was giving her a little bit of the heat, a little bit of the sweet, a little bit of the beat. Thought I was going to get her to come around, but we got into a bit of a disagreement on how much effort or force should be applied, and well. Alrighty, friends, got back from the auto parts store, slapped a new caliper on there. That makes for 2 new calipers and some new to me pads, but took it for the old test drive, and outside of needing to get the wife down here so we can bleed the brakes, it's looking pretty 10 out of 10. I would say that gravity bleeding both sides got me about 90% of the way there. If I wanted to, I could definitely drive it. This is the hitch bumper that I built. Everybody loves making fun of me, like, oh, go get a real winch. It's not for dragging the Jeep out of a hole. It look like I do a lot of off-roading with this Jeep. No, it's a work Jeep. It's a 4,500 pound winch, 4,000, I think it's a 45, and it's just for raising and lowering a winch, and then the front hitch obviously for moving stuff around the property. I think I'd really enjoy having it on wheelie for a little bit. At least it doesn't make any sense to keep it on here, so we got to pull the bumper. I'm not actually going to bring you all along with me while I pull this off. I have a video on making this hitch. Actually, I have several. I have one where I made the hitch, and then one where I modified it and added the winch. So go check those out. They'll be, you know, where cards are. Alrighty, friends, we got the WJ boat anchor off. Time to pull this guy off. It's getting dark. I don't know if y'all can notice. I notice. It's getting dark. The temperature has dropped a solid 15 degrees in about 20 minutes. Can only mean one thing: snar is imminent. We still don't have a plow on, so we don't get to stop yet. This thing is horrifyingly and hilariously loose. Honestly, it was tighter when I put it on, but I've been abusing it for about 10 years now. It's double nutted in the back. I guess that was my way of trying to make it secure back in the day. Well, that took no effort at all. Oh boy. See, there's one light attached to this thing. Can I disconnect that? Screw it. Let it fall where it wants. What do I care? I don't even think it works anymore. Okay, there it is. And yeah, okay. Those connect. These, it's not connected to the battery, so don't worry. Just gonna clip them. I believe this originally went to a first-gen Durango. So if you want it, hit me up. Just kidding. I think it's gotta go on a wall at this point. It's got too much of my blood, sweat, and tears behind it. All right, now can I put this bumper on with this thing still there? That's cute. Probably not, honestly. I think the winch is gonna hit it. It's definitely gonna hit it. Oh crap, I forgot. I think I need to notch out this frame for this to fit. Yep, I completely forgot that that was part of this. Chop out a big chunk. So no, please tell me it's unplugged. Oh, thank goodness, it was barely plugged. Someday I'm gonna tell you all the story of this Hitachi grinder. Maybe the man I am today. Why, Willie? Why are you fighting me like this? I'm trying to do something that would result in you getting driven more, and you're fighting me. Alrighty, friends. We are just cleaning up some of the electrical that someone damaged when they were deinstalling. Here's a little hint for y'all. About a couple years ago, I went and spent 50 bucks on Slamazon on a couple boxes of supplies for my electrical kit. Now here's the long and the short of it. DIYers and amateurs are notorious for crappy electrical. And it's not that we don't know any better, it's that we don't usually have the supplies. The heat shrink, the various connectors, ring terminals, butt connectors, blade connectors. So what do? Wire nut, electrical tape. Spend 50 bucks. Go ahead and stock up a box of electrical. You'll need it twice a year, maybe less. But when you need it, you friggin' need it, right? I had a heat shrink ring terminal of the right size. Alternatively, I would have been stripping this, wrapping it around the post, calling it good enough, which it probably would have been, but I don't know. I try at least once in every video to make it appear like I know what I'm doing. This is that time. Alrighty friends, I don't mind telling you, Mercury's on the decline. It's getting a little bit chilly. I believe all my electrical's hooked up correctly. It's fine. What we got to do is go back out to the red Jeep and try to find the controller. Then we got to move the Subaru, see if we can't dig out the winch, or hit Christmas amateur hour. Dig out the what am I trying to say? Christ, life is harder and harder. You're stupid. Dig out the plow, get it hooked up, and see if this whole thing works. Break. Alrighty, friends. Here we go. Shine a right light right on Ruby's door there. Let's see if we can find it. I think it's in the front seat in a tool bag. If it's not in the front seat in a tool bag, I have literally no idea where she is. Front seat, tool bag. Is this it? Christmas, that was easy. Is this the right one? Badlands? Badlands, yeah, bud. I never get that lucky. Having the winch controls hardwired into my Jeep like I did with the XJ. You guys remember that? That was 10 out of 10. No winch controller, nothing. Oh, money! Alright, in is out. Apparently I'm an idiot, but yeah, money. Alright, there we go, bud. Alright, friends, I'm gonna try to find a spot for y'all to sit. This is not gonna be easy because this Jeep is too tall for this plow. Problem I didn't really care about until now. Suddenly, well, all right, let's see if that works. I recognize you're just sort of staring into headlights. Feel free to fast forward. But if you made it this long, you're probably not too concerned with the absurdity of my driveway shenanigans. Okay, there we go. Come on now. There we go. There we go. There we go. I just don't have a lot of gravity to throw around to get this thing in there. Shoot. You know what? Let's try that. Doing anything, moving a centimeter at a time. Yeah, buddy. Nothing like rocking your plow 5 feet up. Oh, Christmas. All right, so here was my little locking mechanism that I figured out last time. It's a 20,000-pound tow strap that I tied on there. And if you put the hook over there and let it down, so you see this is kind of ridiculous and high, and it's putting all the tension on the winch when you're driving around, which I don't love. So come over here. And What this does is now the weight is hanging on the, I mean, it does allow it to swing a little bit, which I don't love, but whatever. It's hanging on here, and then the winch isn't just, the winch brake isn't just getting beat to all hell. So, gosh, what even was this video? Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the ride. Personally, I just like watching someone do work. So I thought maybe you guys like to come along for the ride. Plus, the internet does not have enough WJ videos. That's how I feel about it. I'm out to change that. What I need to do right now is get this thing turned around and staged up. The snow has changed. I thought, never mind. I put my arm on it and it started tilting, but I thought it was falling, which obviously concerning as the winch was not holding it. Anyway, what they say, I gotta get this turned around. The snow has kind of changed to rain. So this may have all been for naught, but I did want to talk to you guys about something before I let you go. Mind coming inside? I mean, if you gotta go, go, but if you got 2 minutes, maybe it'll be worth it. Oh, dropped my glove, hold on. I didn't just drop my glove, I threw my glove, there we go. So, I'm sure you all know, haven't really been making a ton of videos as of late. I've been super present on the YouTubes. It's a compound issue is what it is. One, the biggest factor is time. I'm having trouble even figuring out how to broach the topic here. Basically, I want to take the channel in a slightly new direction, and I'm asking you guys to join me. I am a jack of all trades. I'm sure most of you are as well. My interests are forever evolving and growing and changing. I love Jeeps. I will always love Jeeps, WJs, cars in general, but I've gotten more into other stuff, specifically boats, PWCs right here, a couple Suzuki lowers I'm working on. That is a pile of Sea-Doo parts. And then you may have noticed, for any of you who don't follow me on Instagram, there's a plastic Dexter room in my garage. Isn't that terrifying? What could be in there? Okay, so this is what I've been spending every night when I get home from work on. Come home, put the kid to bed, come down here, do an hour, put in an hour. 10 years ago, I would have been doing that on, well, not that I had a kid 10 years ago, but 10 years ago, if I have 10 minutes is what I'm gonna work on, would have been the WJ. Today, PWC, buddy. Not only that, but I'm really getting into hull repair in a big way. I made this whole little room so that the whole garage isn't getting fiberglass dust and crap, but been refurbing this hull, long way to go. I refurbed the motor and the interior over, last winter, if I'm being honest. Haven't touched this side, so this is what she looked like when we started. Lots and lots of damage. I actually chose this hull because I wanted to get my skills up. I didn't want to be someone who dabbled in fiberglass and gel coat and boat repair. I wanted to be a guy who knows how to do that. I may say so myself. I'm there, bud. Close, damn near. Been messing with this hull and a couple other ones and a lot of stuff. The point is, I'd really like to bring this to YouTube, but I know that D&E in the Garage is, you guys are Jeepers. I built the channel 5 years yapping about Jeeps. So to just randomly start posting pictures of jet ski hull repair, a little bit jarring, but it's gonna happen anyway. Jeeps, you'll see, I'm always gonna have Jeeps and cars and everything, but I wanna start putting more of the marine stuff on there. I hope maybe you guys will watch it. If nothing else, if you're not interested in it, I would like to hear your feedback. Let me know, like, hey, bud, it's not for me. I tried watching that one, it just wasn't a thing, and maybe in that way, I can try to make it work. How do you know I have a lot of interest? I got a whole other channel that I was working on small engines, but maintaining more than one channel has been cumbersome. So I want to do it all here. Small engines, I love small engines. That's my happy place. Boats, that's how I make a living now. I'm a marine service manager, so I wanted to be able to bring that work home and work on it here. And then cars and trucks and boats, or Jeeps rather. So D&E in the Garage was never meant to be a Jeep-centric channel. It's D&E in the Garage. It's just the crap that Eric and I get up to in the garage, whether it's a boat or a Jeep or whatever. But the Jeep videos did well, and that's where our interest was, so we let that one rock. I'm trying not to make this explanation take too long. Point is, I never really meant to get locked into Jeeps, but it happened, and it's really bummed me out. This project has been so much fun, and I know there's people on the internet that would have been interested in seeing these repairs and the techniques, and I probably could have shared some knowledge with y'all. This is nowhere near done, by the way, but so it's gonna happen, and I know that I'm gonna put days and weeks and months into a video, and it's gonna get 800 views in 2 weeks, and I don't know if you guys know this, but being a YouTuber is psychologically trying. I think I know y'all. I spend, hours creating a video, days editing it to put it up, and no one watches it. That will keep a guy from posting a video for a while. Just letting you know. And I'm not trying to, like I'm being, shitty about it. Excuse my language. Just, YouTube's hard. I haven't put up videos because I didn't think what I was doing would be interesting to you guys, but I need to stop that. I am a YouTuber. That's what I do, bud. This is my blood. I love this stuff. I love talking to this stupid camera in my garage. I love talking to y'all. And I'm gonna put the small engine stuff on here. I'm gonna put the boat stuff on here. So I'd love it if you guys would give it a shot. Give it a shot. Just give it a shot. At least if you can't give it a shot, give me some feedback so I know where your head's at. And maybe there's some of it you could take and some of it not. Like, hey man, I can do the boat stuff, but I can't do that small engine stuff. Not that it's probably gonna change what I want to do, but anyway, tomorrow, real quick, we'll end this video by plowing snow, or I'll just drive this thing to work and we'll do a daylight. Oh man, the rain's picking up. I gotta go. My tools are all outside. I'll catch y'all in the morning. Thanks. Bye. Alrighty, friends. The snow did come. Let's see how much, and more importantly, let's find out if hooking up all that electrical half-assed in the dark in the snow caused our battery to go dead, because that's always a possibility. Got the trusty simplicity on backup, just in case. If I'm being completely honest, this isn't really a plowable storm, but, well, we're in it now. I don't know, it's about 4 inches, right? Well, there you have it. Not a ton of snow to clean up, so I'm not going to bother going over the driveway a million times, because if I'm being completely honest, the snowblower does a better job when it's this little snow. But hey, success, bud. What did we set out to do yesterday? I guess put brakes on the Jeep, which worked, and put a snowplow on it, do a little other things, make a WJ video. That's what we set out to do, and by golly, we did it. So I hope y'all enjoyed it. Hope you stuck with me through my little rant from last night. I hope you guys will give that some thought. By all means, if you like the video. It's common sense, right? Give me a comment down there in the squawk box. Let me know what you're snow plowing with. More and more I'm seeing non-pickup truck snow plows, and I got time for that. All right, as always, thanks for watching.